the Boys in the Woods.
Welcome everybody to the Boys and Woods podcast. As I always have my co-host Charles with me.
Hello. Shalom.
Meow. Udape.
Yeah. Oh, and we are into August. So as the numbers pull in, we'll see what hello and goodbye we learn this month.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was fun. Well done, Shanghai. Goodbye. Until next time, we hope to keep hearing from you. We'll see what the numbers are. Maybe we're still hearing from you. Who knows? Big shout out to USA Women's Soccer. Well done. Well done. And my biggest problem with this is, for one, all the people that jumped on old Carly Lloyd and old Twitter, formerly known as Twitter,
Right.
now known as X, crisscross.
X crisscross. Crisscrossing it don't stop.
They don't stop. But anyways, was letting her have it. And they always let Alexi, whatever his name is there, have it, her husband.
Oh yeah.
Is
it Lawless?
Yeah, there it is, Lawless. Yeah, I knew that's what it was. It just didn't feel right. But
yeah, he was a goofy soccer player.
Goofy looking soccer player. When he had all that hair going and that mustache, man, when he pops a photo of those up, it's so funny.
Yeah.
But anywho, so she had said it right. They were lucky to not be bounced out in the first round.
Oh yeah.
The thing that irked me the absolute most is what I started hearing from all the players and the coaches and the former players. Not all of them, but mostly coaches now and players now, was comfortable losers in all of their fucking statements. Comfortable
fine with it.
Losers. Absolutely. The game is growing. This is what we wanted. We wanted it to be stronger. What are you talking about? That is somebody, you are there. You are not an ambassador of women's soccer at this moment in World Cup soccer play.
No, you're there to win the fucking thing.
You're there to play soccer. Isn't this weird?
Right.
Isn't this weird? And to have goddamn old Pinky hitting them penalty kicks at the end of that game. Why? Because it's her last year. She should have been sitting on the bench the whole damn game. She's too old to be there. But it's so PR. U.S. women's soccer is so PR. They got their contracts, they got their pay, and now they're, hey, fuck off.
Yeah. You guys didn't want to get paid for a few more games by winning and shit? Yeah.
That's so good. The earliest exit by a USA women's soccer team ever?
Yeah.
I'm going to say ever. Second round? And if it wasn't for a goalpost interfering with a wide open shot.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was
it would have been a first round exit.
Yeah.
How comfortable they were. The game is growing. That's what they kept saying. The game is growing. If you seen that the game was growing, why didn't you practice harder? Why didn't you play harder? And you can't tell me you did, because you're in every commercial leading up to it. All of it was all a random ass PR stunt.
They compared their loss to the Bucks being ousted in the second round or the first round?
First round, yeah.
Basically getting swept because they tied 2 games and then lost in penalty kicks.
Yeah. I'd even compare it, honestly, to David and Goliath. And this is going to be a woulda, coulda, shoulda, random cover it under this. It'll be, somebody will start talking about aliens and everyone will forget about USA women's soccer. Let's forget about the fact that it was in fucking New Zealand for some reason. What fucking time zone is New Zealand on?
I don't know. They were playing at 4 a.m. Like nobody, I didn't even know they played. I knew they had played the night before. I didn't know they got ousted by Sweden or whatever. Or they played
my mind.
A week back or whatever.
It's frustrating to me, right? Because women's soccer was everything when it came to soccer, really.
That's all we had.
Outside of now Messi, who apparently doesn't understand how American contracts work.
No.
When you get a contract in America as a professional athlete, you no longer have to play good, man. Like, you can actually suck. That's just what they do, right? Like, they don't have to work hard anymore. You don't have to practice hard anymore. You don't have to play in the games if you don't even want to.
He's out there like 2012 Messi right now.
He's playing against the high school squad. Really, I hope he's doing is pulling the rest. Man, you want to come have fun for a few years, make a whole bunch of money,
Yeah.
Go shopping, come play in the MLS. Ain't nobody plays defense. Nobody can stop a random ass shot.
Yeah.
Messi's got 5 goals in 3 games. I think he scored a goal in the first 10 minutes he's played in every single game. The first 10 minutes he got fucking subbed in, goal. First the other 2 goddamn 7 minutes,
I mean,
goal, goal.
it like you said, it is like a professional athlete going out there playing against a bunch of middle schoolers pretty much.
He's the exact reason why I bought this hobby box here of soccer cards. And you know what's so cool about the fact that I did? I ended up getting a hollow Messi and a hollow Mbappe. So I'm like,
Mbappe.
I'm done buying soccer cards now. I got the
Yep.
one I wanted. My Messi jersey shows up on Tuesday. So at least we have that. That's way cool. Ain't nobody going to talk about women's soccer anymore
No, no,
because
it's dead in the water now until what?
that's over. Because we can't talk about how bad they sucked and how bad they should have, or what they didn't do, because nobody can hurt anyone's fucking feelings in America anymore.
You know, when they tied though, nobody really talked about the fact of how terrible of a tie that was. That was basically a loss. They never should have tied that
And
game.
I'm so glad it was Sweden. I'm sorry, but I'm so glad it was Sweden because I'm pretty sure Sweden's head coach is still the former USA head coach, USA women's head coach. So fingers crossed, I'm not that far behind in this women's soccer time and just blew all my cred. And I'm just some Yahoo yelling now. But hell yeah, go Sweden. I think you got some pretty cool mountains too. But I don't want to talk too much more about Sweden as if what a light, dude. I love that light. What an addition. That's so cool.
She had a lot to say after the game. The old
Who,
blue hair,
Pinky?
yeah, the old blue hair bomber.
Yeah. Yeah, because she sure as fuck ain't the brain.
Yeah,
We're Pinky. We're
you know,
Pinky and the brain.
y-
But anyways, what was she saying? I can't wait.
just like brutal one.
Oh
This
yeah.
is life. Life sucks. This is part of life. It's like, yeah, that's part of life. But they brought your ass on there because they thought that they needed leadership, like senior leadership. Just literally like they need somebody to
Right.
walk their dog through the fucking mall, otherwise it eats all the fucking food. They thought that you could lead this USA team. They had a lot of faith in you after all the
Right.
shit that you talked. Oh,
Two of USA women's best players were injured. They weren't even playing. Yeah.
that's true.
The USA isn't the USA women's soccer is not the A squad. USA women's soccer is the squad.
Yeah,
So when
it's
you're saying
1A, 1B.
squad, when you're
Yeah,
saying
we're talking about
squad,
next
1 through
woman up.
24, 1 through 24 are better than the rest of the world. So
Yeah,
I don't want to hear nothing about our best player because our second best player is still better than the rest of women's soccer. So
I give some props out to Sweden's goalkeeper though. She was fucking
money.
phenomenal,
The
absolutely
entire Sweden,
phenomenal.
and I don't want to take nothing away from the women's
No,
Sweden
absolutely
team, to be
not.
honest with you. They beat our ass.
Yeah. They were
We
out
didn't
there being
lose.
no, they were being physical too. They were like,
Hmm.
"You know what? If you guys aren't gonna try hard,
Yeah.
we're gonna
Well,
try hard."
it's just like these two schools coming in to the Big Ten. Here comes a smooth transition. Smooth
Yeah,
as ice. These two teams coming into the Big Ten night games in November. Y'all
yeah,
on that West Coast about to get smacked. You're about to come into Northwestern when it's that cold. All you're going to be thinking about is, hey, once this is over, I get to go back to the beach. I don't care what happens here anymore. Y'all ain't going to have those sweet ass records anymore. Your school's going to get some revenue, but
yeah,
your athletes are going to get their ass kicked,
yeah,
smacked. Big Ten ain't no joke. This ain't the SEC. You got a 3-team top heavy.
yeah,
You got Georgia, Alabama, and whoever that year beats Alabama or
yeah.
comes close to beating Alabama. That's who you have in the SEC, right? We were complaining about how lopsided the Big Ten was. And now here we go.
Alright,
Here
well,
we fucking go.
let's do it. Where do you think, because it has to happen, the 2 big dogs that are coming in are USC and Oregon, because those are 2 teams that have
Well,
been in the
and
national title game
Washington.
before.
We really can't forget about Washington. We don't know what they're gonna do, but they're oh wait, no, they're purple too. Fuck Washington. I was
Yeah.
thinking about TCU. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
They're the only 2 teams. Oregon and USC are the only 2 teams that, technically have been in, like, since they had
Yeah.
the bowl thing, they've actually been in it, so
I'm excited about Oregon. I mean, for one, I love their uniforms. I love their stadium. Oregon's chill. Their fan base is chill. It's nothing like Philly. I really do Oregon. And the fact that it just pissed USC fan base off for some reason. The UFC fan base off for some
Well,
reason.
you know
And I really
why.
like USC.
You don't know why? It's
Well,
bec
the one tweet I read, well, go ahead, go ahead.
it has a lot to do with the fact that they were the shit talking that USC and Oregon would do because Oregon would always beat their ass,
Yeah. And it was too, like USC was thinking that they were going to pull Big Ten recruits, which you might,
and
you very
Oregon
well
was
might.
pulling all the California recruits away from USC. Yeah,
Yeah. And
and
because Oregon
UCLA.
was ripping, now Oregon is going to be dipping in that same fucking pool. They're going to have that West Coast and Big Ten. Oregon's got a chance to come out really well. The only problem is you got to play in November in the Big Ten. And most of the Big Ten is not that West Coast. So it does put a chink in my chain about wanting to watch Michigan play at all Big Ten stadiums. I guess I'm going to have to take that train to Cali at some fucking point in time.
So I don't know if it's I seen Branstetter had some negative comments about it, but I really wanted to talk about is that it makes sense though now that you brought on 4 teams that are on the West Coast. You're not
Mhm.
going to have as much travel. Those teams will play each other. It will help out with their recruiting and it'll help out with the recruiting in the entire Big Ten too, because these kids
Right.
will have familiarity with home. They'll get to stay home for a few extra games. It's going to help out. It's not completely negative that everybody tries to make that out to be, but
No, I don't think so. I can see the negativity about it, but at the same time, NIL already changed college football that we used to know.
right. Once they signed that freaking
Eh,
contract, it was over. It's done.
s- So there's no point in my world, there's no point in thinking about the future while reminiscing about the past. I'm never going to accomplish what I want to get out of the sport by doing that. So I've got to just look at it for what it is now. Okay, so it's changing now.
Yeah.
And this college football scenario, which is there's going to be more teams let into it, but with this five power conference, it just wasn't working. The best teams weren't getting in because some conference was crying because their record was better
Yeah.
or their strength of schedule, according to some ESPN who never gets anything but predicting the Chiefs to do anything.
Do you know the Big Ten wants to be the first one to 20, right?
I'm telling you, they are talking about adding Clemson also. So if they're going to get Clemson, they're going to pull in one more. We are
They
going to
have
be
to.
20 before the
It's gotta be
2024-2025 season.
20. It's gotta be 2 tens, and otherwise it's not gonna work out for
And
them.
the logo is still gonna be a 10, that's just gonna be 2 of them.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Deuces.
like B10, E10 type slash hyphen
There's the A
crisscross.
league and the B league, the B leaguers, the
You know,
Believers.
the only thing that will absolutely destroy me is if Ohio State and Michigan are not playing each other before the Big Ten championship game. That'll kill me.
They'll never get rid of it. There's so much revenue, and that's college game day. When college game day comes to either one of those, they like it's nuts. It's
Are you ready?
pandemonium.
Are you ready for more? Are you ready for what I'm about to tell you?
Go for it.
USC, Ohio State.
Did you know that Notre Dame plays both of them this year?
Yeah, good, good. What, didn't they go to the ACC?
Yeah.
Pussies.
No,
Ran and hit.
Notre Dame is still independent. They
Their
play like
football
5,
team.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
the football team's independent, but the
Oh,
rest of the school went ACC.
the basketball team's
Yeah,
fucking terrible
pussies,
anyways.
pussies. They were afraid of Big Ten country. Now it looks like Big Ten is going to be all there is. If Clemson leaves the AC to come to the Big Ten, we're going to pull one more Clemson team, or we're going to pull one more AC team.
What this is actually forcing the independents to do is to make a choice and choose a conference because these teams, the Big 10 teams, are not gonna have any room in their on their schedule to play anybody other than Big 10 teams.
Which is amazing
Yeah, which will be
for
great. It'll
which
be
is
Big 10
amazing for the
football.
Big 10 and the Big
Yeah,
10 college football teams because their schedule, their strength of schedule, you're not gonna get these fluffy non-conference games anymore. You might have 2 teams in the college football top spot with 2 losses.
Yeah. Even when they play Rutgers, it'll still be a top 65. It'll be an RPI team. So
Mm.
it won't be like, "Oh my god, they played fucking Elkhorn State or something."
And it
Yeah,
gets looked at way different if you're going to that team's stadium.
sure, you get an extra couple bonus points, whatever, however the
Yeah.
hell I don't know how they even do
What
that shit anymore,
what
but
was it a couple years ago? The Ohio State Northwestern game. That
was
was
that
a
because it was a
trash.
close
Yeah,
yeah,
it was cold, it was windy, it was a trash environment, trash. But the boss of Ohio State went in there and managed to pull out a win in these amazingly horrible conditions, and that shows strength in adversity. And it's, oh, okay. Cool.
sure.
Keep talking about the Big Ten like that. Hell yeah, because it is not easy to go win in Northwestern, but winning up because you kicked fucking 6 field goals isn't something to fucking talk about either. Close enough to kick 6 field goals. You should have scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You got close enough to, but
Just say we came out on top. A
we
win
came
is
out
a
on
win.
top.
Come
You
on,
know,
use
man,
that
it
that
came
old
out on top.
lingo. A win is a win.
I am the type of person where I don't look down. So if my foot is on your neck, I don't know. I just keep pushing down.
It's one thing I think that's what being a Michigan fan, like, we've liked over the last couple of years is the foot's on the gas pedal. It hasn't been taken off, so
That's what I'm talking about. Our main man Harbaugh is getting fucking kicked out 4 games for a cheeseburger, while Harbaugh's coaches beats his wife. Fuck gets 3 games for that. I think that was the scenario, wasn't it? I don't know. It's Urban Meyer. That dude had murderers and fucking everything. I think that literally that dude probably read the Bible and went, find me people who just don't know what this is, and won a couple championships with it. What was that movie with Adam Sandler and the fucking Cheeseburger Eddie?
cheeseburger Eddie.
It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh man, Gridiron, something like that.
It
Who
was
knows?
probably Gridiron, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. It was a remake. Had Adam Sandler in it. It's a quarterback that tossed the game or some shit. But anywho, this is the new college football, and this is going to be awesome. I think it works for the Big Ten in so many ways. What Texas is headed to the SEC at the end of this year,
Yeah,
so the Big 12 only has Oklahoma, and okay, so the Big 12 has more teams, but
yeah, maybe
Oklahoma. All
good
right,
teams.
so what we're gonna do is we're gonna name a good team in the Big 12, and like we're just gonna go back and forth. I'm gonna name one, then you name one, and wherever it stops, right?
We're
I get Oklahoma.
alright.
All right, Big 12.
Are we talking about teams that are still currently in the Big 12?
Currently, that I know that are either gonna no,
Alright,
no, no,
we'll just
no,
talk about
no.
ones that are gonna be in the Big 12
Yeah,
next year.
the ones that
Alright,
are left.
TCU,
Okay, I lose. Can you think of another?
Oklahoma State.
No.
But yeah, but they're not even a good team, like,
We're
that
talking playoff teams here. We're talking teams that have not aspirations. We're not
U
talking about the little giants here. You know,
Utah?
yeah, they get one. Is BYU in the Big 12?
Yeah,
Or are
BYU,
they in the Mountain
Utah.
West?
No, it's BYU, Utah, Oklahoma State, TCU, I'm off top of my head.
Yeah, so it sounds like
Oklahoma,
the Big 12 isn't going to survive. And
Texas
the
Tech. You're talking about teams that are, like,
what I
2nd
think
tier.
Is it Texas Tech going to the SEC?
No, just Texas
Or
A&M.
is Texas Tech one of the teams we're talking about ripping with Clemson? I'm just saying.
Here's the kicker
The
too,
Big
aren't they
10 is
talking
here
about
for the United States of
are
America, player.
isn't there still Arizona, Cal, Stanford, and Arizona State? Like, they're all fucking party schools except for Stanford.
Arizona's leaving. Arizona's leaving.
Yeah. No, and
Arizona
they're
was
all
in the back
they all
Pac
have to
Pac-12.
join another conference, because they can't.
You know, the teams that are left in the Pac-12 are, oh my God, Cal,
It's Cal, Arizona State, Arizona,
Arizona.
and
Yeah.
Stanford.
But they don't even
Well,
have media rights, man. They ain't got no media rights yet.
no,
So after this year, they ain't even going to be on TV. But the revenue
unless they're
destroyed the
playing.
Pac-12. The revenue destroyed the Pac-12.
Yeah,
The
their contract
teams,
was shit.
yeah, I think the teams in the bottom of the Big 10 made like 30 million more
Yeah.
in revenue share.
You're talking about Rutgers and freaking,
And you know the crazy thing too?
Northwestern.
You know what we're not hearing anyone talk about? This Pac-12 commissioner just came in and destroyed one of the most luxurious goddamn conferences for 100 years. What the
Yeah.
Pac-12 has been around for over 100 years, and this
What did
dude
it take
comes
him, like,
in
6 years to friggin' do it too?
and just destroys it in 6 years. Why isn't anyone talking? And this dude might be playing golf. That was the coolest thing.
Isn't he from the
Did you
Big Ten too?
I think so.
I
That's
think
probably
he
yeah,
is.
we had an inside guy the whole time.
Yeah.
Fucking
Fucking blew it all
did
up
you
from the
see that?
inside out.
Did you see that the Washington board executive took the
Uh-huh.
call to join the Big Ten while playing golf and didn't stop playing golf while he was talking?
He knew that we saw dollar signs floating through the clouds. He was like, "Hell
Motherfucker.
yeah."
We ain't g the big crazy thing that took everyone out of work. Oh my goodness. People just be living large off that shit.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to get to a point where I'm taking a call from the golf course,
So
and I'm
before
so
you
important that I don't even have to quit playing golf.
so before we get too far outside of sports, you want us to give our 2 takes on this baseball fight that we missed out on?
Oh,
We
yeah,
definitely gotta
dude.
watch this video.
Old boy gets a huge right cross on him, and my favorite part about the entire video is the
Oh,
aftermath.
oh, this one's got freaking
That
music.
dude that dude is fucking just kills me, man.
Yeah, every time, man, every time.
Oh my god. I tried to download it off of Twitter, but Twitter and their amazing content creator safety stuff keeps me from downloading some videos here and there.
You ready?
Yeah, so I'm okay, so
Give everybody the synopsis, the breakdown of what's about to happen here.
yeah.
So
How
Ramirez from Cleveland is rolling into second base, and he goes right between the White Sox second baseman's legs. Anderson.
Anderson. Now, Anderson holds the tag,
Yeah.
and then once
On it well, he holds it on
Ramirez
his I think he holds it on his ass cheek, and I think that's what he
yeah.
gets irritated about.
Ramirez gets up quick, says something, and Anderson pats the helmet down right off the dude's head, and we're about to see what happens next. Chaos ensues.
Anderson and Ramirez about ready to square up. Ramirez took offense to
What up, bro?
something
Why you touching my
Anderson did,
ass?
whether Anderson stuck out
Yo,
his
man.
knee, tapped
Yeah.
him too
I
hard in the
don't
butt
swing
with
for
the
the other
glove.
Oh,
team.
here comes the
But this
fucking bat
umpire
boy out of
was the
nowhere.
smartest person
Yeah.
on the field. He initially tried to break up the fight.
Yeah, I do
Just
love how
screw it,
the
I'm
ump
getting
tries
outta
to
here,
break
but
up
Yeah.
the
I'm not
fight. He's
getting
like,
hurt.
"Nah,
So
this ain't my
smart move
life."
on his part as he
This
backs
ain't
He
up
doesn't
my
wanna
right
life.
take
here.
one.
So they start throwing punches.
Whap,
Anderson through the first punch.
Yeah.
whap.
Here's another
Yeah,
replay
let's
of it.
do this.
Throws the
Let's do
punch,
this.
and then Ramirez throws a
You could
punch,
tell
and
right away
down
that dude doesn't
goes
know.
Ramirez caught
Anderson.
him right in the freaking corner of
You
the
could
chin.
tell right
There he
away,
goes.
man,
Glass
the White
chin, I
Sox
guess.
player
I don't know, but he went
doesn't know
down
how to
on one
fight.
punch.
It doesn't know how to
This
fight,
game took
man.
about
You don't know how
You
to
could tell
fight.
right away you don't
7
know how to
minutes to get
fight.
started. It maybe
That dude
longer.
threw his
Night
hands
bitch.
up.
That's all we got. Anderson and Ramirez.
That dude threw his hands up at the beginning of the fight like he watches anime
Like
way too much.
like the oomst, oomst, oomst.
And there ain't nothing wrong with anime. There ain't nothing wrong with it at all, unless you're using anime to train yourself in the real world.
Yes, don't be
And then
white
you
and try to learn how to fight from anime.
you
That's the number one
oh
thing.
my god.
Does not work out for you.
Yeah, so that huge cross,
Yeah.
that haymaker, that probably only hits in that scenario. If we're being realistic, in a street fight, him versus him, and not the whole world crashing in at one time. But the aftermath video, for those of you who either have no idea what we're talking about or know what we're talking about but haven't seen it yet, I would suggest you look
Definitely
at
look it up.
yes, we'll look it up. So as Anderson is walking back, he's being carried back by what looks like three different professional ball players, two holding his arms and one stabilizing the back, and the wibble wibble wobble wobble. It's Big Cat had said too, and I was laughing, and he's absolutely right, because I watched the video and then read the caption after. And as I was watching the video, I was like, damn. Oh boy, this can't figure life out. Oh my god. So as he's walking back, he's just wobbling, dropping back and forth. He's got absolutely no equilibrium. Absolutely none. So then I read the comment, Big Cat's, God damn, dude, at that point, just lay down and let the stretcher take you off, because then we can't make jokes about it for a while.
Yeah, you can't find it where he's laying down, and they're picking them up and carrying them off, which is funny because it's like teammates that are carrying them off,
Yeah,
and it's
you might not be able to. Twitter, I love Twitter, man. I do. I really do. That the stuff when you're lucky enough to catch some of this crazy shit within the first
yeah.
24 hours, you're seeing all the raw video, all the unedited clips. After 24 hours, the videos, the raw
Oh, the
content,
memes, the videos, the
yeah,
content's edited. Yeah,
edited,
everything's
everything private. That video is removed. So, which is yes, awesome, but also damn, because you can't I can screen share the video, but it comes in real weird. It's super
yeah.
cryptic. I love it. It's safe. It's secure. And if you pay for it, it's worth it. That's not a plug either. I don't give a shit. Come hit me up on
Right.
Twitter though. I'm headed to 500 followers. I'm at
Yeah.
58. Boo, 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 boo. Yeah. Okay. And then let's bounce right into the next fight. We're going fight to fight. Jake Paul beat Nate Diaz.
Yeah. So
Unanimous decision, and those
a not
judges
real
were
boxer. Yeah. Not real
yeah.
boxer beat an XMA fighter. All right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
a not real boxer beat an XA fighter inside of a ring. It's entertaining. Is it idiocracy entertaining? Like I didn't pay for it. I didn't pay for it.
Yeah.
Hashtag hell yeah, Twitter X. That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
I
Just
mean,
wait a few minutes and then you start seeing raw vids.
yeah. If you want to do a little bit of research, that Diaz's finances are not exactly doing the best. So it's almost like he took the fight and took the fall for the money. Not trying to be a conspiracy guy or anything, but I don't think Nate Diaz has the kind of money that Jake Paul had. So
Oh, you definitely
you knew he took
that's
that.
not a
Yeah.
conspiracy. That is the truth.
Yeah.
When you live the lifestyle of a baller,
Yeah.
it's hard to put on that shock collar.
Him and his brother are both freaking big cannabis advocates, and I think that's what they rolled off of too. That they kicked out of the USC the UFC at one time for that too.
Nick has been. He's been out
Yeah,
shit, and his brother advocated for him 65, 75 different moons.
yeah, because Nate had to go fight in Vegas at one of the UFCs there in order to be able to pass or something. Some weird bullshit back in the day.
It's
Anyway,
crazy.
whatever. Yeah, it
It's a
doesn't matter.
bummer
I mean,
too, because Nate swears up and down, and I don't know if this is just brother love, but Nate swears up and down Nick's the better fighter, and Nate was the original bad motherfucker. I love quote Conor McGregor because it's just straight fuck you, but Nate Diaz was no Nate Diaz. I can't quote Nate Diaz because Nate Diaz was only action. There's not a lot. You want me to quote Nate Diaz? Fuck you and your dad. That's all I can do.
Nailed it.
So, here's my best Nate Diaz for you. Oh man. Bastoy prison and life inside the nicest correctional facility.
Are you going to tell me which one that you actually probably would stay a night in if you absolutely had to? You'd stay in one of these? You got photos
yeah.
or are they just talking
here's the
shit on
kicker.
them?
Wait, what's that? The prisons?
Yeah. Would you stay in any of these? Are you doing the 10 worst or the 10 nicest?
Okay, so I'm going to do both actually, but I'm just going to do the top 3 out of the top 10 nicest.
Yeah, we don't need to know about the top 10.
No, but the top 10 worst, yeah, we're going to go through that list. And I don't know. I found the one thing that gave me photos and some pretty good, a nice paragraph, nothing too long with good descriptives. Yeah. And we're going to roll from there. Bastoy prison.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Catch me outside. All right, bitch. Let's go. This photo tour of Norway's Bastoy prison reveals why this facility is called the world's nicest prison. So as much as I would like to show you, I just don't think I can.
Just explain it in very vivid detail.
And that's what I'm very good at. At Bastoy Prison, inmates live communally in comfortable homes. Each man has his own room and shares the kitchen and other facilities with the other inmates. A meal a day is provided for them. Any other food must be bought from the local supermarket and prepared by the prisoners themselves, who receive an allowance of $90 a month. The prison is on an island, 1 square mile in the size. It hosts 115 inmates with the staff of 69 prison employees. Only 5 employees remain on the island overnight. In their free time, inmates have the opportunity to visit church, school, the library, and engage in leisure activities such as horse riding, fishing, and tennis. All the guards have received 3 years training compared to perhaps 6 months in the U.S. and resemble social workers more than prison officers.
I already have a question. I already have a
Yes.
question.
Yeah, absolutely.
What the fuck are you gonna buy for a night? You're gonna eat and feed yourself off $90 a month. What are you eating
That's crazy.
with
I mean, the
$90 a
photos are
month? What are you eating? Ramen?
Actually, Bastoy Prison. Where is this located? Bastoy Island. All right. What can I buy for $90 on Bastoy Island? Bastoy, Norway. Shit. And I buy for $90 American, because that's what it was written in Bastoy, Norway.
What do you think that is?
What's that?
How much do you think that is in their? How much is that in their money?
I have no idea. It's just a tiny fucking.
Yeah, I've seen the island.
Tiny island. The prison food in Norway consists of bread with spread or cereal for breakfast, a lunch, a regular dinner, either served or made by the inmates themselves, and bread again for supper.
1 Norwegian krone is 0.098 American US dollars. So it's 10 cents to our dollar.
Okay. So yes, I would absolutely. That's 10 cents to our dollar.
Yeah.
Quite a bit then. And
So
the prison rooms.
900. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So the grocery store looks like a quickie trip. The kitchen the kitchen, it looks like something you would be in Top Chef. The facility is clean, open. The food is better than the shit I eat here. That's
something
crazy.
And the something's making me think. Yeah. I'm thinking these are not murderers that are not staying here. Like
no, but the ones I'm looking at now, they are definitely murderers. We're just going to jump right to it. The other two on that list is Pondok Bamboo Prison in India, and it's a fucking life of luxury. You're basically in a senior citizen home. And then HMP Adderwell, Scotland, my motherland. It's a private prison located near the village of Adderwell in West, blowing all this up, Lothian, Scotland. Adderwell is operated by Justice Services, SJS, and contracted to the Scottish Prison Service. Super tiny. It's a private prison, just a beautiful little spot. Yeah, so Scotland has some great prisons. India has some great prisons. And Norway has a really great prison. You know where there isn't a great prison, though, actually?
Hit me with it.
Gitarama Prison, Rwanda. The most crowded prison in the world. Gitarama is home to more than 7,000 prisoners in a facility that was built to hold only 400. Most of the inmates are suspects of the Rwandan genocide that took place in 1994, given the extreme overcrowding. The men and women housed here are forced to stand barefoot on filthy ground for all hours of the day, causing their feet to rot. Many eventually require amputations, but with only one full-time doctor dedicated to the prison, most prisoners are unable to receive the treatment they need, resulting in half a dozen deaths each day.
Damn.
That was the number one. Yeah, go ahead.
What else? I was just thinking they're getting like freaking like ringworm and shit on their feet, or fucking disgusting.
There's nothing. Looking at the pictures, the only comparison that like even comes to my mind is one I'm not going to say out loud. I don't want to. I don't want to piss those people off. I don't want to piss anybody.
If you get it, if you don't. All right.
All right. So moving on. That was the number one. The number two, and I was actually surprised. I was super surprised. I figured that some crazy African country or continent was going or whatever that. I'm sorry.
You would think some third world country would have the worst prison.
Right. Yeah. I totally thought North Korea was going to be the worst, though.
Yeah, you would think so.
I'm super surprised they're not. They barely came in second place. They are nothing. They can't even do prison systems, right?
No.
Let me throw that out there. All right. Throw your spoons down the stairs, mother truckers. Near the middle of North Korea is a 60 square mile, 155 square kilometer prison facility known both as Camp 14 and Kaeshuan. According to reports by the U.S. Department of State, Camp 14 was built in 1959 near the center of the country, about 40 miles, 64 kilometers north of Pyongyang. Camp 14 is considered a political prisoner camp and can hold 15,000 prisoners. That means they are serving life sentences for being enemies of the state. Inmates here are routinely starved and forced into slave labor in mining, textiles, and farming. Camp 14 also employs a policy known as 3 generations of punishment, which means many prisoners are there for merely being related to someone suspected of a crime, and they'll likely die there without ever committing a crime themselves. And the only picture we have is a satellite image.
I am guessing so.
I'm telling you right now, from what I'm looking at, it'd take me maybe 2 weeks to break out. Just kidding. It looks like hell. It looks like hell. That's crazy. Okay, so number 3 on the list, not surprising, but I've never heard of it. What's not surprising is where it is. What is surprising is I've never heard of it. And the only thing I actually get to see is a computer, like a CAD generated photo of what I think or people think it looks like. Also known as ADX Florence. Florence ADX Supermax, or the Alcatraz of the Rockies. This is the most maximum security prison in the United States. Built in 1994, this facility houses some of the world's most dangerous criminals, including Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, Ramzi Youssef, responsible for the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, and Zacharias Masoya, involved in the 9/11 attacks. I butchered that last name for a reason. Fuck that dude. Inmates at this facility spend 23 hours a day in solitary confinement in their 7 by 12 foot, 2 by 3.6 meter concrete cells. Windows are tiny and prisoners get their meals through small slots in the cell metal doors. That's still too good. When prisoners are allowed out of their cells during the 1 hour, that's still too good. Recreation period. They wear several restraints. That's not enough. And are escorted by multiple guards. That's not enough. To a small outdoor cage. That's too big. The prison was once described by former warden Robert Hood as a clean version of hell. That's too good. That's too good. Let's just move on. Fuck that place. Fuck the people in that place. I'm glad I didn't know that about that place. I probably did, but I'm glad I didn't know about that place. I don't need to know about that place. I'm glad they do what they do. If you work there, hell yeah. Thank you. You're
not enough workers. Hire some more.
Not enough. Hire some more. Give them more money. That's fucking crazy. But yeah, so now we're back in Africa. Number 4, Glendani Prison, Georgia. 2012 scandal in Glendani Prison, located in I know I didn't spell that right. And by spell that, I meant say that because I'm about to spell it and I'm thinking too fast. TBILISI, Georgia, called international attention to the country's practice of prisoner torture at the hands of guards. Numerous abuses, including rape and assault, were revealed in a video filmed by a 35-year-old former prison guard turned whistleblower. The video sparked major protests across the country and inspired actual reform in how inmates there are treated. Though conditions in the country's prisons have improved in the past decade, Glendai Prison is in the spotlight once again as the site of protests sparked by imprisonment of the country's former president. Why do I do this to myself? Mikhail Saakashvili. Through various groups of protesters are both in favor and against Saakashvili's release. The situation is calling attention to the facility's notoriety and reputation. Number 5 is in Argentina. Number 6 is in Turkey. Number 7, USA, San Quentin. Number 8, USA, Tarahut. I've never heard of that one. We'll come back to that real quick. Kenya, number 9, and Black Dolphin Prison, number 10, Russia. Okay, so Black Dolphin is that basically the prison in all of Hollywood movies, and oh my God, it's so bad. Oh, it's the worst fucking prison. It barely made number 10. Fuck Russia. That's crazy. Terre Haute, USA. This prison complex in Indiana. No wonder nothing fucking comes from Indiana. Isn't that the state we asked what it comes from it? And Siri said 3 fucking things. Didn't even give me a Wikipedia page. Was that Indiana? Yeah. I guess they have the number 8 worst prison in the world. This prison complex in Indiana consists of maximum security, medium security, and low security units, nicknamed Guantanamo North. Terre Haute is home to Boston bomber. Fuck that dude. Not even going to say his name, who is on death row there. The United States federal government's execution chamber is located at Terre Haute. The ACLU accused Terre Haute in 2008 of having grossly inadequate conditions at its special confinement unit where death row inmates are held. Who the fuck works at the ACLU? I got to find that out real quick. Maybe I just bounce over to the ACLU when my public administration degree is over and go to night school. Who knows? Conditions at its special confinement unit where death row inmates are held. It accused the prison of denying the prisoners medical care and mental health services and said they were subjected to so much noise that it caused them sleep deprivation. In January 2021, Terre Haute had the highest number of COVID-19 cases in the federal prison system, including inmates on death row. Federal executions at Terre Haute have been on pause since U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland announced July 1st, 2021, the Department of Justice would review its policy on capital punishment. This was after the Trump administration carried out 13 federal executions just months before the end of Trump's term, including the execution of Lisa Montgomery by lethal injection, January 12, 2021. Montgomery was the first woman put to death by the U.S. in 67 years. Still 46 men remain on death row at Terre Haute, including Dylan Roof, who was sentenced to death for federal hate crimes for killing 9 church parishioners in Charleston, South Carolina in 2015. I'm going to move on from this. I'm upset that I read it because this will end up getting me in a political thing. Unless you have something to say specifically.
No, I'm good. I'm pretty sure a lot of those people that are in there have some political affiliation. So
they belong. San Quentin, that's cool.
Yeah.
San Quentin's got photos of what looks like a chokey. Take him to the chokey.
Yeah.
Grab his dick and twisted. Grab his dick and twisted. Here's the thing. And then I think we wanted to open up a hobby box. We'll do that too. I think we'll open up one hobby box. I think, is that what we wanted to do?
Or you can open up a hobby box.
Yeah. So here's my kicker. So we, on a few episodes ago, we read about Singapore and their first execution are for heroin drug traffickers. We're talking about executing people who have just slayed mass slaughter, right? That's who we're talking about, right? We're not talking about heroin dealers here. Okay. When did we care what the happens to them from A to B after they've already done what they've done? Why the hell do we got to put them on a Tempur-Pedic before we kill them? It's humane. Okay. It's hard to put yourself in a mindset of either a victim or a family member of a victim. Instead, you put yourself in the mindset of the criminal and how you would feel if those conditions were being put onto you. Why not try to feel like the victim or the victim's family members who, when they look at this evil individual, why not try and feel that fucking feeling, right? Feel that feeling. The sound would make me feel bad. Yeah. What about the 9 people he killed when he walked into that church that day? What about those family members? What about those children without their family members? Put yourself in their shoes. Get the fuck out of a criminal's shoes just because you're probably a closet pedophile. doesn't mean you get to feel sympathy for monsters. And that's who we're talking about here. We're talking about monsters. We're not talking about wrongly accused. We don't give a fuck what your skin looks like or what your hair feels like. I don't care what your tushy feels like. If you're a monster, you deserve to be treated like a monster. That's all I can really say about that. I knew the prison topic was going to get me hot. I still shot the moon for it. And I feel like I held back a lot. And I'm pretty happy with myself.
Those are my two bugaboos.
We're running up on 50 minutes too, so maybe the hobby box is some other time. I'm going to have a hell of a time opening them up by myself, those suckers. I have pulled some sweet deals real quick. I got 2 rookie Chet Holmgrens. I got a signature piece. I got a rookie Riley Green. I got a bunch of hollow crystals too.
I guess we're going to tell everybody our big news, since not everybody's on Facebook that follows the podcast or listens to it. Charles and I have decided to offboard our podcast onto millions.co. So we will be coming with
CO, millions.co.
And that will be linked in the bottom of the description. You want to check out our profile, which the new profile picture is updated from today with Charles and I in front of the fantastic lawn facing the neighbor's yard, waving at everybody.
Yeah, I got to tell you too, man, when I was like, hell yeah, man, I'm going to Switzerland to rob a bank. Your neighbors ran into the garage. So next time you see them, let them know I may or may not have just been kidding.
Yeah, that's fine. Jokes aside. Jokes
aside. Yeah, millions.co. Super fantastic. Sports, lots of sports. So if you love sports, you love when we do sports, head on over there. It's super simple to create a profile. You create a profile with Facebook, Gmail, Twitter, any of those cool platforms. Lots of really cool people, lots of watch parties. Watch parties are huge.
Watch parties for freaking lots of 5,000 athletes.
5,000 athletes.
We're one of just a few podcasters, but for sure, definitely go and check them out. Make sure you sign up. Cool. We will be having a watch party for the Packer preseason football game next Friday on Millions.
And if you scroll down to the bottom of our page, you can enter your email address. And to our knowledge, you will not be spammed, but in fact, you will be informed of all the cool times your favorite boys in the woods shoot out some really cool content.
Absolutely. It's the best content. Only the good time.
And man, we appreciate this opportunity. It's been a really cool journey so far. Our listeners, our followers, I don't know how to thank y'all enough. We keep doing these giveaways. I don't think there's enough that we are doing. We have more hats. So we've got lots coming. And we appreciate you and everything that y'all have done for us. Pat, you again, magic behind the mirrors.
Pretty soon we'll get some help.
Yeah, and this ain't this Siegfried and Roy be eaten by a tiger mirror magic shit either. This is the real deal. So
making it happen with our beautiful voices now that we're both not sounding like monotone South Park characters.
My final warning of the day before my sweetest blessing of the hour. Enjoy Halloween. The Queen of Christmas is thawing as we speak. And you will soon be walking around every store making Christmas, fa la la. And if I had the pitch that Christmas Kringle has, we'll call her Christmas Kringle for right now, because I don't know if she's a Krampus in disguise. I feel like we'll have a whole story. I think Mariah Carey is Krampus in disguise, and she's after your children.
We need to go into the Krampus thing one of these. That'll be like a Christmas episode for sure.
Yeah, because I want to read up more about it. I'm sure Hollywood fucked it up.
Dude, it is it's even more wild than you could even imagine.
I love it. Anything that keeps a bed in that night. Or anything that keeps the kid in bed after bedtime at night.
Sure.
Yeah. But listen, we love you guys. Smile more, because you never meet every life you save.
All right. Till next week.